I saw her actually. She looks older than she is. She looks, mashallah, grown up. She's 5 months old, but she looks, mashallah, very, very beautiful and awake.
And the other one is more misty.
Really?
She's big and
Is
she
she walking?
knows everybody. Not yet. She's 1 year.
Assalamu alaikum.
She'll be 1 year next year, next week.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ياسين والقرآن الحكيم إنك لمن المرسلين على صراط مستقيم تنزيل العزيز الرحيم لتنذر قوما ما أنذر آباؤهم فهم غافلون لقد حق القول على أكثرهم فهم لا يؤمنون إنا جعلنا في أعناقهم أغلالا فهي إلى الأذقان فهم مكمهون وجعلنا من بين أيديهم سدا ومن خلفهم سدا فأغشيناهم فهم لا يبصرون وسواء عليهم أأنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون إنما تنذر من اتبع الذكر وخشي الرحمن بالغيب فبشره بمغفرة وأجر كريم إنا نحن نحيي الموتى ونكتب ما قدموا وآثارهم وكل شيء أحصيناه في إمام مبين واضرب لهم مثلا أصحاب القرية إذ جاءها المرسلون إذا أرسلنا إليهم اثنين فكذبوهما فعززنا بثالث فقالوا إنا إليكم مرسلون قالوا ما أنتم إلا بشر مثلنا وما أنزل الرحمن من شيء إن أنتم إلا تكذبون قالوا ربنا يعلم إنا إليكم لمرسلون وما علينا إلا البلاغ المبين قالوا إنا تطيرنا بكم لئن لم تنتهوا لنرجمنكم وليمسنكم منا عذاب عليم قالوا طائركم معكم أئن ذكرتم بل أنتم قوم مسرفون وجاء من أقصى المدينة رجل يسعى قال يا قومي اتبعوا المرسلين اتبعوا من لا يسألكم أجرا وهم مهتدون وما لي لا أعبد الذي فطرني وإليه ترجعون أأتخذ من دونه آلهة إن يردني الرحمن بضر لا تغني عني شفاعتهم شيئا ولا ينقذون إني إذا لفي ضلال مبين إني آمنت بربكم فاسمعون قيل ادخل الجنة قال يا ليت قومي يعلمون بما غفر لي ربي وجعلني من المكرمين وما أنزلنا على قومه من بعده من جند من السماء وما كنا منزلين إن كانت إلا صيحة واحدة فإذا هم خامدون يا حسرة على العباد ما يأتيهم من رسول إلا كانوا به يستهزئون ألم يروا كم أهلكنا قبلهم من القرون أنهم إليهم لا يرجعون وإن كل لما جميع لدينا محضرون وآية لهم الأرض الميتة أحييناها وأخرجنا منها حبا فمنه يأكلون وجعلنا فيها جنات من نخيل وأعناب وفجرنا فيها من العيون ليأكلوا من ثمره وما عملته أيديهم أفلا يشكرون سبحان الذي خلق الأزواج كلها مما تنبت الأرض ومن أنفسهم ومما لا يعلمون وآية لهم الليل نسلخ منه النهار فإذا هم مظلمون والشمس تجري لمستقر لها ذلك تقدير العزيز العليم والقمر قدرناه منازل حتى عاد كالأرجون القديم لا الشمس ينبغي لها أن تدرك القمر ولا الليل سابق النهار وكل في فلك يسبحون وآية لهم أنا حملنا ذريتهم في الفلك المشحون وخلقنا لهم من مثله ما يركبون وإن نشأ نغرقهم فلا صريخ لهم ولا هم ينكرون إلا رحمة منا ومتاعا إلى حين وإذا قيل لهم اتقوا ما بين أيديكم وما خلفكم لعلكم ترحمون وما تأتيهم من آية من آيات ربهم إلا كانوا عنها معرضين وإذا قيل لهم انفقوا مما رزقكم الله قال الذين كفروا للذين آمنوا ونتم من لو يشاء الله وتمه إن أنتم إلا في ضلال مبين ويقولون متى هذا الوعد إن كنتم صادقين ما ينظرون إلا صيحة واحدة تأخذهم وهم يخصمون فلا يستطيعون توصية ولا إلى أهلهم يرجعون ونفخ في الصور فإذا هم من الأجداث إلى ربهم ينسلون قالوا يا ويلنا من بعثنا من مرقدنا هذا ما وعد الرحمن وصدق المرسلون إن كانت إلا صيحة واحدة فإذا هم جميع لدينا محضرون فاليوم لا تظلم نفس شيئا ولا تجزون إلا ما كنتم تعملون إن أصحاب الجنة اليوم في شغل فاكهون هم وأزواجهم في ظلال على الأرائك متكئون لهم فيها فاكهة ولهم ما يدعون سلام قولا من رب رحيم وامتازوا اليوم أيها المجرمون ألم أعهد إليكم يا بني آدم الله تعبدوا الشيطان إنه لكم عدو مبين وأن اعبدوني هذا صراط مستقيم ولقد أضل منكم جبلا كثيرا أفلم تكونوا تعقلون هذه جهنم التي كنتم توعدون اصلوها اليوم بما كنتم تكفرون اليوم نختم على أفواههم وتكلمنا أيديهم وتشهد أرجلهم بما كانوا يكسبون ولو نشاء لتمسنا على أعينهم فاستبقوا الصراط فأنى يبصرون ولو نشاء لمزقناهم على مكانتهم فما استطاعوا مضيا ولا يرجعون ومن نؤمره ننكسه في الخلق أفلا يعقلون وما علمناه الشعر وما ينبغي له إن هو إلا ذكر وقرآن مبين لينذر من كان حيا ويحق القول على الكافرين أولم يروا أنا خلقنا لهم مما عملت أيدينا أنعاما فهم لها مالكون وذللناها لهم فمنها ركوبهم ومنها يأكلون ولهم فيها منافع ومشارب أفلا يشكرون واتخذوا من دون الله آلهة لعلهم ينصرون لا يستطيعون نصرهم وهم لهم جند محضرون فلا يحزنك قولهم إنا نعلم ما يسرون وما يعلنون أولم ير الإنسان أنا خلقناه من نطفة فإذا هو خصيم مبين وضرب لنا مثلا ونسي خلقه قال من يحيي العظام وهي رميم قل يحييها الذي أنشأها أول مرة وهو بكل خلق عليم الذي جعل لكم من الشجر الأخضر نارا فإذا أنتم منه توقدون أوليس الذي خلق السماوات والأرض بقادر على أن يخلق مثلهم بلى وهو الخلاق العليم إنما أمره إذا أراد شيئا أن يقول له كن فيكون فسبحان الذي بيده ملكوت كل شيء وإليه ترجعون آمنا بالله صدق الله العلي العظيم
محمد وآل محمد صلوات अम्मा फिजा बता दे मुझको पत्थर क्यों आ रहे हैं अम्मा फिजा बता दे मुझको पत्थर क्यों आ रहे हैं कैसा है ये चरागा दिल डूबे जा रहे हैं क्या शाम आ गया है अम्मा फिजा बता दे मुझको पत्थर क्यों आ रहे होने लगी अज़ाने कैसे सरों خدا کے بازو بندھے ہوئے ہیں، خون رو رہی ہے آنکھیں، آنکھوں کے خون سے رستے خون میں نہا رہے ہیں، کیا شام آ گیا ہے۔ اما فضا بتا دے مجھ کو پتھر کیوں آ رہے، سجاد کا کلیجہ صد پاس ہو رہا ہے، ایک ایک زخم ان کا اس غم میں رو رہا ہے، زینب کا نام لے کر آدھا بلا رہے ہیں، کیا شام آ گیا ہے۔ اما فضا بتا دے مجھ کو پتھر کیوں آ رہے، نیزوں پہ جتنے سر ہے ایک سر ہے ان میں ایسا، آنکھیں ہیں بند اس کی اور خاک پر ہے گرتا، عباس کا یہ سر ہے تیور بتا رہے ہیں، کیا شام آ گیا ہے۔ اما فضا بتا دے مجھ کو پتھر کیوں آ رہے ہے، لوگ کس طرح کے ہم سے دعا کرائے، اے قیدیو دعا دو یہ دن نہ ہم پہ آئے، لے کر دعائیں ہم سے دل بھی دکھا رہے ہیں، کیا شام آ گیا ہے۔ اما فضا بتا دے مجھ کو پتھر کیوں آ رہے ہیں، اما فضا بتا دے مجھ کو پتھر کیوں آ رہے ہیں، ماں کی گودیوں سے لپتے ہوئے ہیں بچے، ہے ہاتھ رسیوں میں ماں کے ایسے جھکرے، ارے بچے جو گر رہے ہیں وہ مرتے جا رہے ہیں، کیا شام آ گیا ہے۔ اما فضا بتا دے مجھ کو پتھر کیوں آ رہے ہیں، آیا جو باب کافر رو کے گئے مسافر، کہتا تھا شمر ان کو کرنا ابھی نہ حاضر، کہ دربار کو ابھی ہم دلہن بنا رہے ہیں، کیا شام آ گیا ہے۔ اما فضا بتا دے مجھ کو پتھر کیوں آ رہے ہیں، نیزے پہ رو رہا ہے مشکل کشا کا بیٹا، नामहरमों के लब पर आया है नाम मेरा, मुझको कनीज़ ज़ादे यूं ही रुला रहे हैं, क्या शाम आ गया है अम्मा फिज़ा, ऐ बता दे मुझको पत्थर क्यों आ रहे हैं, कैसा है ये चरागा, दिल डूबे जा रहे हैं, क्या शाम आ गया है। पर मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद साहब
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والحمد حقه كما يستحقه حمدا كثيرا. الحمد لله رب العالمين الأول قبل أولية الأولين والباقي بعد فناء العالمين. ثم الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. اللهم صل على محمد. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Mu'minin, we are in the period of Ayam Azha, the days of passing on our condolences to the Imam of our time, Sahib al-Asri wa Zaman, Ajallahu Faraj al-Sharif. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin. And to the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, with regards to the very tragic event which took place on the day of Ashura on the plains of Karbala in the year 61 after Hijrah. Having completed the first Awal Ashara al-Awwal, the first 10 dedicated Majalis for Abu Abdullah al-Husayn alayhi salam, it is a tradition in our community to meet at intervals of 10 days. So we'd meet the next 10 days like tonight, we would observe the 10th or the Dasmo, and thereafter the next 10 intervals we would observe the 20th, the Wismo, and thereafter we will observe again next 10 days the 30th, Trismo, and then we would have the Ayyam of Lady Zainab alayhi salam culminating with the day of Arba'in. This mu'minin is indeed a very valuable and beautiful, honorable treasure which our forefathers out of their wisdom have kept this tradition of observing these days of Ayyam Azha all the way from Ashura to the day of Arba'in, for which, mashallah, the elders have become recipients of this tradition of Thawab-e Jariyah, and you and I who are now benefiting from it, for we can see for ourselves that communities of Muslims who do not have any excuse to be able to gather together, they in themselves are getting challenges from the wider world and other types of occupations. For us, wherever there is a call for Azza, be it in the actual day of the Munasabat of Ashura, but on any other day, the opportunity comes for us to come together, and this is indeed a great barakah which you have for us. So it calls upon us as we do shukr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and also express our appreciation to the forefathers who have set up this tradition. It calls upon us, mu'mineen, for our beautiful innocent young children in our time today, to be able to strengthen and keep alive this tradition for just one selfish need, and that is that when we are not going to be present on the face of this earth, because we will have strengthened this tradition within our children, these children inshallah will be the cause of remembrance for us and get the thawab al-jariyah. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. For tonight's majlis, inshallah, mu'mineen, I would like to share with you a reflection on one deed of azadari. And that deed of azadari is one which is not limited on the days of Ayami Azza, but one which we as a community, alhamdulillah, have a tradition of performing this deed of azadari even on normal days during the times when you're observing our daily obligatory salah. And that deed is the deed of ziyarah. Ziyarah in the Arabic word is basically what you would say is visitation. For us as a community, the tradition of ziyarah is understood also as the recital of the salam after the daily prayers, whether it is a day of wafat, whether there is no majlis, but after daily prayers, we have this tradition of reciting the salam, which is actually the ziyarah part of that azadari. So in the roots of the tradition of azadari for ziyarah is one which can be performed physically, visitation to the sacred shrines of Abu Abdullah salam and the martyrs of Karbala, and it is one also which in presenting that salutations or presenting that salam can be performed at a distance. And this is one ziyarah which regularly perform every Jumerat, every Laylatul Jum'ah, and that is the ziyarah warith. So inshallah in tonight's majlis I'll try to share with you a brief reflection on one section of the ziyarah warith, so that inshallah we may develop further energization of our hearts as the beloved Prophet Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. When he mentioned, even before the tragedy of Karbala had taken place, Inna liqatl al-Husayn hararatan fi qulubil mu'minin. Indeed, the martyrdom of Hussein has such an effect on the hearts of the believers, la tabradu abadan, that it is never going to get extinguished. So I'll share with you one reflection, so that inshallah from that reflection of that recital of Ziyaratul Warith, it will inshallah set more flames and light and ignite the lamp of Iman in our hearts. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Before I go into that reflection, I would like to just share with you a couple of few points, 2 or 3 points with regards to the Ziyarah al-Warith. You will notice that from all the texts in which we have the text, the narrative of recitation of the ziyarah salutation upon Abu Abdullah salam, Marhum Sheikh Abbas al-Kummi has compiled 7 texts, 7 different narratives, 7 different, recitals of the ziyarah of Abu Abdullah salam. From all those 7, there is one only which is different in its contents. What is the difference? The difference is that the remaining 6, when you look at the recital of that ziyarah is a recital of saying Salamu alayk ya Abu Abdullah, mentioning, O salams be upon you, O Imam Abu Abdullah, in his name. And then the ziyarah would finish by talking about his characters or etiquettes. Whereas one ziyarah, which is the Ziyaratul Warith, is very different from those 7 in the sense that this is the only ziyarah which has salutation salam upon Imam Aba Abdullah al-Husayn alayhi salam, upon his son Ali al-Akbar by name, and upon the Shuhada of Karbala, which is a unique thing in the ziyarah which have been brought about as a tradition or a text from the Aim alayhi salam with regarding to addressing Aba Abdullah al-Husayn alayhi salam. That's the first point as a background with regards to Ziyaratul Warith. The second point for us to also to know is with regards to the origin of this ziyarah. How did this come about? A man by the name of Safwan al-Jammal visited the 6th Imam Ja'far Sadiq salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi who was in Medina. And this man, when he visited the 6th Imam, he said to him that, "O Imam, I would like to perform the ziyarah of Aba Abdullah when I am not in Karbala." He's in Medina. "Can you teach me something by which if I recite, I'll be able to fulfill that love of that salutation or that ziyarah?" Now bear in mind, ziyarah is the reward of not only that visitation physically, but even responding salam from a distance also. A person gets that reward of that ziyarah to Aba Abdullah al-Husayn alayhi salam. So the Imam Aba Abdullah al-Husayn alayhi salam thereafter taught him a text, a whole recitation, and that recitation is what we say as the Ziyarah al-Warith, which is recited on Laylatul Jum'ah, recited even when we are far away from the sacred shrines of Aba Abdullah alayhi salam, and even when we are present physically at the sacred shrines of Aba Abdullah alayhi salam, we recite the same text of Ziyaratul Warith. This is the second point as a background with regards to Ziyaratul Warith. The third point with regards to the background of Ziyaratul Warith is that from what we have just discussed about the 6th Imam teaching Safwan al-Jammal. So the question immediately comes, who is teaching whom? The one who is teaching is a Ma'asum. The Ma'asum whose title is Sadiq Ali Muhammad, our 6th Imam, Ja'far Sadiq salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin. So the ziyarah which we recite, the Ziyaratul Warith, is not ordinary words. It is the words of a Ma'asum. When we recite the ziyarah, a point which comes to my mind every time is that how deficient is our speech, how much shortcoming is our tongue, that when we want to we address somebody, for example, if I would like to just address you and say Salamun Alaikum, I would say Salamun Alaikum, Kiba, So we have some words, Kiba, that Kiba is love, Ba is brother, or Salamun Alaikum, Azizam, Biradaram, Kharam, it adds that love, isn't it? What more can we add to that? Tell me. We can't, there isn't much which you can add. How many? Maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words before say Salamun Alaikum. But when we are utilizing Salamun Alaikum to Aba Abdullah al-Husayn alayhi salam, utilizing the words of the Ma'asum, it itself shows the shortcoming of our vocabulary, the deficiency in our tongue, that we would like to address this noble personality, the exalted personality who is Sayyid-e Shababi Ahlil Jannah, going to be our leaders in the paradise. And by the way, all of us will be youths when you go to Jannah. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So what a better way to address and overcome the gap of our shortcoming than utilizing the words of the Ma'asum through the recital of Ziyaratul Warith. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So based on the words of our 6th Imam, and the 6th Imam is tutoring Safwan al-Jamal in that time, which is one becoming a lesson for us. This is the way. Address your Imam. The thawab for which, even when you're not present physically over there, you will be like that one who has been able from the distance convey that ziyarah salutations to him. So when we look at this Ziyaratul Warith, we see that the Imam starts with the words of salam, and then the Imam is tutoring us. He's now actually giving us a lesson and instructions that acknowledge the status, acknowledge the accomplishments, and acknowledge the achievements of Aba Abdullah Hussein alayhi salam. Remember these three words: the status of Aba Abdullah Hussein alayhi salam, the achievements of Aba Abdullah Hussein alayhi salam, and the accomplishments of Aba Abdullah Hussein alayhi salam, which will help us in reflecting on the line which I would like to talk with you, insha'Allah, from the Ziyaratul Warith. So the Imam now commences. In the first 7 sentences, Assalamu alayka ya waritha. What is the common word in the first 7 sentences? Assalamu alayka ya waritha. Common word. Assalamu alayka ya waritha. 7 times the Imam is mentioned by use of the word warith. Warith in very simple language we know is somebody who is a inheritor, somebody who is an heir. And when Imam is mentioning heir of whom, so he mentions the 7 personalities in the first 7 lines, that this is one greetings to him, the one who is an inheritor of the 7 personalities. And we talk about inheritor, we're not meaning to say that, for example, he's inherited the Dhul-Fiqar, or he's inherited, for example, the clothes from the Prophet, or the Amama, or for example, no, not the worldly things. That itself requires another explanation, commentary with regards to what is the possession which the Imam has inherited for him to get that status of inheritor to the 7 personalities. But that is not the line which I want to discuss tonight. One thing only I want to mention to you over here, in those 7 lines where the Imam is addressed, Assalamu alayka ya waritha Adam safatillah, Assalamu alayka ya waritha Nuhin nabiyillah. In all those, from the best of my reading till today, I find that there is no other ma'asum who has been addressed in this way as warith. In the best of my reading till today, there is no one who has been addressed as warith. So this itself, in a reflection for us, is giving us a very strong message when the Prophet tells us, Husaynum minni wa ana min al-Husayn. A very deep meaning. When we recite this ziyarah, link it to what the Prophet has told us. So when we talk about the message of the Prophet, that the Prophet is the seal of the prophets, Khatimul Anbiya, he is the final Rasul, he is the final, what do we say, Nabi, from all the prophets, means he is the one who is inheritor, who is the one who brings to fulfillment and completion to all over there, and add to that the role of Mawla Amir al-Mu'mineen, add to that the role of Sayyidah Fatima Zahra alayhi salam, and we see for ourselves that when we talk about warith, inheritor, and heir of these 7 personalities, that itself is indicating to us a very great status of Aba Abdullah Hussein alayhi salam. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin. So these were the first 7 lines. I mentioned I'm not going to discuss further on the details of these 7 personalities or these first lines of the warith of Imam Hussein, of Imam being addressed as the warith. After these 7 lines, then there are next 5 sentences. In those 5 sentences, now look at the change of the scenario. The whole chapter is changing. Now the Imam is being called as through his lineage, relationship. First was his status of what he has inherited as the heir. Now attention is being drawn to the blood relationship, and relationship in those next 5 lines is talking how he is related to being the son of the Prophet, the son of Amir al-Mu'mineen, the son of Sayyidah Fatima Zahra alayhi salam, the son of Ummul Mu'mineen Sayyidina Khadija, and the son of Thar Allah, the one who is going to avenge for Allah. So this itself is now another accomplishment of Aba Abdullah Hussein alayhi salam. So for us to be able to introduce Aba Abdullah Hussein alayhi salam would not have been simple in just saying Salamu Alaikum. It is the words of the Masoom which has actually assisted us to give justice in addressing Aba Abdullah Hussein alayhi salam, where we start off with, remember we said, his status, his achievement, and his accomplishment. We have talked about his status. After finishing the first 7 lines of his status being the inheritors, and then the next 5 lines of his status because of his relationship, we now come to the next 3 sentences of Ziyaratul Waritha. And these 3 sentences is what, inshallah, part of it which would like to carry out a reflection for tonight, inshallah. How does this start, the next 3 lines? It starts off, Ashhadu, I bear witness, I bear shahada. So visualize, you go to the court, you hold the Quran or you hold the book and say, I swear that I'm going to speak nothing, the truth but the truth, nothing but the truth. Isn't it? That is what is a witness. That is the status of a witness who does a position that is going to speak nothing but the truth. So here in the next 3 lines we say, Ashhadu, I bear witness. Not a simple statement. We bearing it witness out of the depth of the truth. What is it? Accomplishment. Annaka qad aqamta as-salah wa atayta az-zakah. Accomplishment 1, qad aqamta as-salah wa atayta az-zakah wa amarta bil ma'ruf wa nahayta 'anil munkar wa ata'ata Allahu hatta ataka al-yaqeen. 3 lines mentioning with great truthness, with great, what do you say, emphasis, that indeed I bear witness. Ashhadu annaka qad aqamta as-salah. I bear witness that indeed you have done aqamta as-salah. I'm not translating it just now. There's a reason why, I'll tell you. Wa atayta az-zakah, and you have disbursed, given out the zakah. وَأَمَرْتَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَنَهَيْتَ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ. And O Imam, I bear witness that you have performed amra bil ma'ruf and nahi anil munkar. You have indeed enjoined towards the righteousness, you have encouraged and instructed towards the good, وَنَهَيْتَ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ, and you have dissuaded and you have asked people to refrain from the munkar. وَأَطَعْتَ اللَّهِ, and I bear witness that you have indeed done the ita'ah, the obedience to Allah, hatta ataq al-yaqeen. All these things, the 4 things which I've said, aqamta as-salah, atayta az-zakah, wa amarta bil ma'ruf, wa nahayta 'anil munkar. All these 4 things you have done, hatta ataq al-yaqeen. And over here you have done them till you met the reality. The reality, Mufassirin tell us, yaqeen is not what we say conviction in our common language. Yaqeen over here is conviction that death is certain, that the Imam meant that the Shahada. That means he was doing these 4 things till he met his Shahada, which was his yaqeen. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Then after this we have the next 2 lines where we are now saying the la'an, where we say فَلَعَنَ اللَّهُ, and the line goes in the next 2 lines where we say the la'ana. So this is the section where only part of it we are going to do our commentary and reflection, and that is the line which I have not translated, where he said, Ashhadu annaka qad aqamta as-salah. I bear witness that indeed you have aqamta as-salah. I'm still not translating it. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Very interesting over here. Remember we said status, achievement, accomplishment. Very interesting over here that the Ma'asum Imam, that is our 6th Imam Ja'far Sadiq salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi, Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. The achievement with which he starts addressing Abu Abdullah al-Husayn alayhi salam is not shahadat, because that is the greatest achievement. You know, somebody has given his life, whole family in shahadat. He just says hatta ataq al-yaqeen, till you met your yaqeen. That was the last one. But he starts mentioning the medal of his achievement in saying ashhadu annaka qad aqamta as-salah. So the salah is taken to be the very supreme and the first medal for addressing the Imam in his achievement over there. To be able to understand why I have not translated ashhadu annaka qad aqamta as-salah, I will share with you an example, and thereafter using that example we will then try to be able to understand qad aqamta as-salah in a different perspective. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So, when you plan to go for camping, you take a tent with you. And then when you unpack your rucksack, you take out the tent. What are the things you require to set up your tent? Very important, Sutun. You need the central pole. What else you need to set up your tent? You need your hammer. Thank you. What do you use the hammer for? Yeah, so the screws or the pegs, isn't it? So the pegs are very important. Thank you, mashallah. So we need those pegs. What else you need to tie down the tent? You need the rope to tie down the tent. One thing very important. What is the use of the hammer? What is the use of the sutun, the pole? What is the use of the pegs if you don't have the canvas? Isn't it? Canvas is very important. It doesn't need to be there. So, you set up the tent, clear the area, the ground. You set up the canvas. You take your hammer, you put in your nails, you put in the pegs. All right? You tie the ropes. Is the tent ready? Can you go inside and sleep? What do you need to do? It's of no use. What do you need to do? Yes, we need to put our bedding, but the what do you say, the tarpaulin or the tent is still lying flat over there. Is it of any use? Yeah, the tent is of no use. You need to take the central pole, enter inside and raise it up. When you raise it up, then you tie your tent pegs. You use your rope and the nails, all the pegs and the hammer to hold it tight. Then this tent, the covering, is going to protect you from the elements of weather, from the hot and cold, and that is where your tent bed is going to be useful. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So with this example is going to help us to translate the word qad aqamta as-salah. We look at what our fifth Imam Muhammad al-Baqir salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi tells us with regards to salah. He tells us, as-salatu umududdin. Know that salah is the pillar of religion. Now, link this hadith with the image of the tent. مثلها كمثل عمود الفستات. Its example, the salah is like the central pole of the tent. إذا ثبت العمود, that means if the central pole, what is the central pole over here? Salah. If the central pole, that is the salah, is steady, upright, يثبت الأوتاد والأتناب, then the pegs which you have used, the ropes which you have used, they will also be straight. They will also be strengthened of use as such. وَإِذَا مَالَ الْعَمُودُ وَانْكَسَرَ. But if the central pole were to tilt and break down, what happens? لَمْ يَثْبُتْ وَتِدٌ وَلَا تُنْبٌ. Then neither the pegs nor the ropes will be of any use. So, if the Imam is pointing out to us that salah in that example is like the tent, if the tent pole is held tight, upright, then only it is going to be useful. If the tent pole is not held upright, if the salah is not held upright, there is no use of the rope and the pegs over there. So in this image of a tent, the tent pole is that salah, and the tent cloth or the tarpaulin which you are using is your iman, is our iman. And to hold that iman, we need to have our amal, the various amal, which is the rope and the pegs over there. And the greatest point is that central pole with the salah. As we said, if there is no central pole, you will have no salah. The tent is of no use. The amal without that salah, that iman, is just like the tent which is lying on the floor, does not protect you from anything. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So in this hadith we can see a very critical, superb element which is required with regards to the establishment of iman. And this is where our sixth Imam Ja'far Sadiq alayhi salam, Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad, is giving the first indication about the achievement of Abu Abdullah al-Husayn alayhi salam. The requirement of salah, the Imam is pointing out to us that ashhadu annaka qad aqamta salah. You are the one in that example of the tent pole, that salah is one you set it up steadfast, straight, not allowing it in any way to be tilted. And it is one where the Imam is pointing out to us that if we are to look into the relationship which we have with prayers and the relationship which we have with our deeds, if this one central pole is not meant to be steady and straight, it is definitely going to have an effect on our iman and lead to how acceptable the rest of the amal are going to be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So indeed, this is an outstanding achievement which the sixth Imam is pointing out to us. And that is the reason I was not translating ashhadu annaka qad aqamta salah. Because if we were to look at the English translation, it just tells us that we bear witness that you have indeed said the prayers, or you have indeed performed the prayers. You know, when we talk about one who has done the prayers and performed the prayers, many times we say, Hane dil mein thanda ka cheta, namaz pa padegi nas. You know, so we feel like as if a very big task has been done because we have done with the namaz. Remember that namaz, Allah has not made us like a postman. You know what does a postman do? The postman is released when he has got a parcel with him and he pushes it through the letter box. His reward has gone through. You know, otherwise I'll have to knock, wait, or put a red card. I was here but you're not around. So the postman is relieved. I have delivered it. The Imam that delivering it, in Arabic we say ad-daita. That means you have fulfilled. You have delivered. So just like in Arabic I would say adaitul amana, I have fulfilled or I have repaid my debt. That's the end of it. Once you repay a debt to somebody, no other relation, finished. Once that postman has adaital parcel, all right, the postman has adaital parcel, the postman has delivered the parcel, no relationship with your door. He goes away. Till the next time he gets an address again, he'll come back again to that door. All right? But when we talk about ashhadu annaka qad aqamta salah, what it is actually meaning over there, that the Imam was one who not only was doing ada of salah, because if Imam Sadiq alayhi salam wanted to say that the sixth Imam was saying his prayers, he could have said, ashhadu annaka qad sallayta salah. I bear witness that you, mashallah, have said all the prayers. Ashhadu annaka qad addayta salah. I bear witness that you have fulfilled praying all the prayers. But he is taking us on a higher level to understand that the performance of salah is not to be like that postman who just throws the parcel and waits. Next parcel comes. So we finished Fajr parcel. Wait till the next parcel. Zohar Asr. Throw it in, and then no connection between Fajr and Zohar Asr, no connection to the next parcel of Maghrib and Isha. What Imam Sadiq alayhi salam is pointing out to us over here is that bear witness that the Imam was one who was qad aqamta salah. He was not only talking the salah, he was not only praying, reciting the salah, he was walking the talk. In between the remaining times of the next salah, the Imam was actually personifying the salah. The Imam was actually putting into action whatever he had said over there from one salah to the other salah is one he is actually putting it into a role model. And because of always establishing that central pole, remember the umud, if that central pole is established only at one time, the time of Dhuhr and Asr, or the time of Fajr, or the time of Maghrib and Isha, where does the rest of the iman go in between, where the rest of the amal goes in, collapses down like a deflated balloon. So mu'mineen, the ziyarah which our sixth Imam Ja'far Sadiq salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi, Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad, is basically not one to satisfy Safwan al-Jamal, to get the thawab, to recite the salams, no doubt. Sending salutations to the Imam has its own merits, has got its own thawab. But there is a greater message for us as the inheritors of this message 1,300 years after the tragedy of Karbala till today. And that is the way the sixth Imam is bearing witness that his prayers was one which was aqamta salah, expectation for all of us. Inna liqatl al-Husayn hararatan fi qulubil mu'minin la tabradu abadan. The Prophet has prophesied that the martyrdom of Abu Abdullah al-Salam will have such an effect into the hearts of the mu'min, la tabradu abadan, that it will never go cool. Let not that emotional effect of putting our speech into talk, actions put the work into talk. The salah itself should be such that it is one where you and I, insha'Allah, personify this salah. It is because of personification of salah that we find that the Shuhada were such that when they knew tomorrow is going to be their final moments in the mortal world as such, they passed the rest of the night in nothing but iqamatis salah. Salah was such that it made them become brave, it made them become motivated to perform the jihad al-asghar on the day of Ashura. You and I, as a dar of Abu Abdullah alayhi salam, when the Prophet tells us that this one is to create an energy into you, a heat into you, for what? For you and I to be ready for jihad. Which jihad? The jihad which in English we translate as struggle. The jihadul akbar. The greatest struggle is against our nafs. And it is the salah which is giving us that fuel, that very, very important energy for our nafs to be able to be of those who take our level of iman. One is as firm as we would like to have the 10 to be there, so that our rest of our a'mal, be it the zakat, be it the silatul raham, be it the khairat, be it the sawm, be it any other deeds towards the ibad of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, will be one where we closely personify those words which we have mentioned in salah. Indeed, when we look at the life of the martyrs of Karbala, especially at the life of Abu Abdullah alayhi salam, as I was trying, Mu'minin, to look into the different aspects of the life of Abu Abdullah alayhi salam, right from the night when on the 27th night of Rajab in the year 60 after Hijrah, how Salah personified Abu Abdullah alayhi salam is indeed a vast and a deep topic by itself. Inshallah, when the time comes, on some other moments, we'll talk about the different stages of Karbala, starting from the 27th of Rajab, how Salah, can we understand that as Azadari, it was one where Imam personified that Salah, and our sixth Imam is expecting us that when we recite, Ashhadu annaka qad aqamta salah, be truthful in bearing witness that the Imam is one who has actually aqamta salah, he has actually established Salah, and it calls upon us, you and I, to be of those who will walk the talk and put our Salah into something which will make Abu Abdullah alayhi salam to be proud of us, to be his azadar. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Mu'mineen, let us take our hearts and minds to the plains of Karbala, and we see on the 10th day of Ashura in the year 61 after Hijrah, where Umar Sa'ad carried out giving instruction for all the various heinous and barbaric acts. And we can see that when the time of Asr came, after setting fire to the tents, after giving all that brutality and torture to the remaining survivors of the family of Imam Hussain alayhi salam and the martyrs of Karbala, not satisfied with that, the bodies of the Shuhada, especially the body of Abu Abdullah alayhi salam, instruction was given for the horses to trample upon those bodies. This was on the eve of the 10th of Muharram. These bodies trampled were left now on the lands of Karbala, exposed to the elements of the weather, with the desert winds of Karbala blowing sands over the remaining parts of the body of the Shuhada of Karbala. Mu'mineen, on the 12th day of Muharram, Umar Asad now rounds up the surviving people from the family, from the caravan of Abu Abdullah Hussein salam. They are tied up as prisoners and made to sit on camels without any litters upon them. Mu'mineen, as if all the brutality, all the massacre, all the atrocities carried out upon Abu Abdullah Hussein salam, upon his companions, especially on the day of Ashura, was not enough. All the torture and all the hurt, all the grief which was given to the women, all the hurt and all the feelings, harsh treatment given to Sakina on the day of Sham-e Ghariba was not enough. Still, Umar Asad, when he now leads the caravan, prisoner of caravans, he takes them deliberately across a route. And the route is to take them towards the spot where lie the bodies of the family members, especially the body of Abu Abdullah Hussein alayhi salam. Mu'mineen, imagine the ladies who have been passing 2 sleepless nights from Sham and Ghariba, the children who had been slapped on their faces, the children who had seen fire in front of them. Now they are taken on the way where they see their loved ones. And what do they see? They see bodies which have been trampled up. They see bodies which have had blood on them, and they see sand which has been brushed upon them by the winds of the desert of Karbala. Wa musibata, at that time, Zainab comes or passes by close to the body of one whose head is not there, one whose body has been chopped up into pieces as a result of the horses which have trampled upon it. And Zainab at that time says, Wa Muhammada, Wa Muhammad, oh my grandfather, salams of the heavenly angels be upon you. Hada Hussein, oh Muhammad, my grandfather, this is Hussein, who is drenched in blood, who has been cut and left out on the desert. Oh Muhammad, oh my grandfather, your daughters have been taken as captives. Your Itra has been pulled and martyred while the wind is sprinkling sand upon their bodies. And then this caravan is taken towards Kufa. When they arrive to the walls of Kufa, outside at the boundaries, Umar Asad gives her order to halt for the caravans to wait outside. Why? Because Ibn Ziyad, the governor of Kufa, has given orders for the streets to be decorated, for the palace to be decorated. Can you imagine? A time comes where the daughters of Amir al-Mu'minin were respected in the city of Kufa. Now that Kufa is looking like a place of festival, dressed up with flags and decorated, then the caravan is brought inside into the palace of Ubaidullah bin Ziyad la'natullahi alayh, and the head of Hussein is placed on a tray in front of his throne, and the desecration and the respect which is carried out over there. Wa Husseina, Wa Hussein.
لبيك يا حسين لبيك لبيك يا حسين لبيك يا حسين لبيك يا حسين يا حسين لبيك يا حسين لبيك يا حسين لبيك يا حسين يا حسين on my lips Hussein in my heart Hussein every moment of my life Hussein ya Hussein on my lips Hussein in my heart Hussein every moment of my life Hussein ya Hussein لبيك يا حسين لبيك يا حسين لبيك يا حسين يا حسين لبيك يا حسين لبيك يا لبيك يا حسين يا حسين Hussein is whom I call morning, night and noon I live and breathe his name for this is who I am when I close my eyes I see his sacrifice and the helpless cries after his demise my eyes glisten and tear to Allah I draw near my heart begins to clear لبيك يا حسين لبيك يا حسين لبيك يا حسين لبيك يا حسين يا حسين لبيك يا لبيك يا حسين لبيك يا حسين يا حسين before I learned to crawl I heard my mother call Amir ya Hussein when she was in pain she told me of the tale on Askar that befell the arrow that flew his neck it went through I wonder at the man who did not understand why did they not proclaim لبيك يا حسين لبيك يا حسين لبيك يا حسين لبيك يا حسين يا حسين لبيك يا حسين لبيك يا لبيك يا حسين يا حسين from the mosque I heard of my mom the third how he was alone after all were gone Abbas he was no more and those who went to war never did they come Shaheed they did become a lonely brave man he called out from their end if only I was there لبيك 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 يا حسين 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 يا حسين what a man I see recall the thirsty scared Ruqayya her dress is on fire she cries for her Asghar she cries for her Akbar she cries for her Baba and the Alamdar your horrors I will live your pain is mine to grieve I am a Husseini لبيك يا حسين your horrors I will live your pain is mine to grieve I am a Husseini لبيك يا حسين لبيك يا حسين لبيك يا حسين لبيك يا حسين يا حسين لبيك يا حسين يا حسين لبيك يا حسين يا حسين on my lips Hussein in my heart Hussein every moment of my life Hussein ya Hussein Mas لبيك يا حسين
إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن عليا ولي الله أشهد أن عليا أمير المؤمنين وإمام المتقين عليا حجة الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح حي على خير الأمل حي على خير الأمل. الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. اللهم صل على محمد. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. اللهم صل على محمد. أشهد أن عليا ولي الله أشهد أن عليا حجة الله. اللهم صل على محمد. حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح حي على خير العمل حي على خير العمل. قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله. الله أكبر. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر. ليلة القدر خير من 1000 شهر. تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر. سلام هي حتى مطلع الفجر. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده رب سنانا محمد وآل محمد. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده رب سنانا محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر. أستغفر الله ربي وأتوب إليك. الله أكبر.
سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده رب صل على محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر. بحول الله وقوته أقوم وأقعد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله أكبر. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. ربنا اغفر لي ولوالدي وللمؤمنين يوم يقوم الحساب. رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا. صلى الله على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده رب صل على محمد وآل محمد. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده رب صل على محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر. أستغفر الله ربي وأتوب إليك. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده رب صل على محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. بحول الله وقوته أقوم وأقوم. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله. سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده رب صل على محمد وآل محمد. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده رب صل على محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر. أستغفر الله ربي وأتوب إليك. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله. سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. يا ولي العافية نسألك العافية عافية الدين والدنيا والآخرة. صلى على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجه.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم إني أسألك موجبات رحمتك وعزائم مغفرتك والنجاة من النار ومن كل بلية والفوز بالجنة والرضوان في دار السلام وجوار نبيك محمد عليه وآله السلام. اللهم ما بنا من نعمة فمنك، لا إله إلا أنت، أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله. اللهم صل على محمد. أشهد أن محمد رسول الله. اللهم صل على محمد. أشهد أن عليا ولي الله أشهد أن عليا حجة الله. اللهم صل على محمد. حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح حي على خير العمل حي على خير العمل. قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله. الله أكبر. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنا أعطيناك الكوثر
فصل لربك وانحر إن شانئك هو الأبتر. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده. رب صل على محمد وآل محمد. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. رب صل على محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر. أستغفر الله ربي وأتوب إليه. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. رب صل على محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر. بحول الله وقوته أقوم وأقعد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله أكبر. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. يا الله يا رحمن يا رحيم يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلبي على دينك. ربنا عاملنا بفضلك ولا تعاملنا بعدلك يا كريم. صلى الله على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده. رب صل على محمد وآل محمد. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. رب صل على محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر. أستغفر الله ربي وأتوب إليه. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. رب صل على محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. بحول الله وقوته أقوم. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده. رب صل على محمد وآل محمد. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. رب صل على محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر. أستغفر الله ربي وأتوب إليه. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. رب صل على محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر. بحول الله وقوته أقوم وأقعد. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله. سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده. رب صل على محمد وآل محمد. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر.
سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده رب صل على محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر. أستغفر الله ربي وأتوب إليه. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله. سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. عظم الذنب من عبدك فليحسن العفو من عندك. عفوك عفوك عفوك. صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرج مستقيم.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم إنه ليس لي علم بموضع رزقي وإنما أطلبه بخطرات تخطر على قلبي فأجول في طلبه الملدان فأنا فيما أنا طالب كالحيران لا أدري في سحل هو أم في جبل أم في أرض أم في سماء أم في بر أم في بحر ولا يدي من ومن قبل من وقد علمت أنه علمه عندك وأسبابه بيدك وأنت الذي تقسمه بلطفك وتسببه برحمتك. اللهم فصل على محمد وآله واجعل يا رب رزقك لي واسعا ومطلبه سهلا وماخذه قريبا ولا تعنني بطلب ما لم تقدر لي فيه رزقا فإنك غني عن عذابي وأنا فقير إلى رحمتك. فصل على محمد وآله وجد على عبدك بفضلك إنك ذو فضل عظيم. اللهم صل على
Mu'mineen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Mu'mineen, kindly join me in reciting a Surah Fatiha for Marhuma Kulsumbai Ahmad Nanjikara, who was the beloved grandmother of Auntie Noshin Jafar, Marhuma Alina bint Shabir Hassam, who was buried today in Switzerland, the Marhumin of Ali Bai Merali family, the Marhumin of Haji Meher Ali family, the Marhumin of Ganji family, and Kul Marhumin. Al-Fatiha. With your generous support, our Muharram Safar Fund now stands at £19,053, approximately 81% of our target of 23,500. We still have a shortfall of £4,447. We ask everyone here and those watching online to continue to support us and donate towards this noble fund. Jazakumullahu khairan. We will be holding a majlis to commemorate the wafat of our fourth Holy Imam on Wednesday, the 31st of July, 2024. This program will begin with niyaz that will be served at 6:45 p.m. sharp. Kindly note that the niyaz and clearing has been allocated 1 hour as the main program starts at 7:45 p.m. The majlis will be recited by Sheikh Imran Damani and will end with Maghribain Salah at 9 p.m. sharp. We strongly request you all to be here on time for niyaz to allow the volunteers to promptly prepare the center for the rest of the program. Ahsan. Mu'mineen, kindly recite the Surah Fatiha for Kul Marhumin before we stand up for Tawajjuh for Ziyarat, inshallah. Al-Fatiha.
متوجہ برائے زیارت. السلام علیکہ یا رسول اللہ، السلام علیکہ یا خدیجۃ الکبریٰ ام المومنین، السلام علیکہ یا فاطمۃ الزہراء یا سیدۃ النساء العالمین، السلام علیکہ یا امیر المؤمنین و امام المتقین علی ابن ابی طالب حجۃ اللہ، السلام علیکہ یا کریم اہل بیت حسن المجتبیٰ، السلام علیکہ یا ابا عبداللہ الحسین شہید کربلا، السلام علیکہ یا قمر بنی ہاشم ابا الفضل العباس یا باب الحوائج ابن امیر المؤمنین وابن سید الوسیین، السلام علیکہ یا شہداء کربلا و اسیران کربلا، بالخصوص شریکۃ الحسین بی بی زینب کبریٰ و بی بی ام کلثوم و بی بی سکینہ بنت الحسین مدفون زندان شام، السلام علیکہ یا تسعۃ المعصومین من ذریۃ الحسین، علی ابن الحسین و محمد بن علی، جعفر ابن محمد و موسیٰ ابن جعفر، علی ابن موسیٰ و محمد بن علی، علی بن محمد و حسن بن علی، السلام علیکہ یا ابن الزہراء یا حجت ابن الحسن المنتظر، السلام علیکہ یا ابا صالح یا مولا یا صاحب العصر والزمان، السلام علیکہ یا خلیفۃ الرحمن، السلام علیکہ یا شریک القرآن، السلام علیکہ یا مظہر الایمان، الامان 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 من فتنۃ الزمان ومن شر شیطان، عجل اللہ تعالی فرجک وسہل اللہ تعالی مخرجک وظہورک ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ. اللہم صلی علی
اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا.